Hi, I'm Kate Edwards and welcome back to another video of RCK's new series where we are interviewing prominent women in business. We're talking to them about their journeys, how they got to where they are, and crucially asking them what their advice is for other women in business and how they can start their own businesses and strive for leadership positions. Today I'm joined by Xiaofang Sutton, who is the CEO and co-founder of LCN Legal. Xiaofang, welcome. So could you tell us a bit about how your professional journey has developed and how you got to where you are today?
Yes, of course. It's actually funny. I never actually think about it because been busy so long running my own business. I was born and raised in China. As you might imagine, I had a very strict and tiger father. So his dream is actually, he always wanted to become a lawyer. So from a very, very young age, I've been told I need to study law in college. I need to become a lawyer. So that's it, you know, when I was grow up that stage, you just need to do what you've been told. So I went to university in China, went to the law school, and I decided I wanted to come abroad. So I decided, okay, I have to choose a law school. So I went to Edinburgh University and I took the master degree. Very luckily, I didn't manage to get a training contract. I say very lucky. And then I went to join the London Chamber of Commerce. And then at that time, they were looking for somebody and Chinese to help them set up the Chinese Business Association. So I was just jumping on the opportunity as long as I don't need to, become a lawyer, which is kind of a rebellion against to my father. So I just took that opportunity, and then I think it's kind of realized I actually really good at it. Really good at actually networking with the Chinese business here and basically connect them with the many business in London. So when I was working there, I met my husband, and so we decided. So everything just went very fast and we're very effective people. So we got married, and I had 2 children, and then I think that time is a moment for me to think about, do I want to go back to London Chamber of Commerce or do something else? I always very ambitious. I always knew I want to do something different or start something by myself. So I think if I don't start now, when? So that's why I brought my husband in. So we started LCN. So that's really 10 years ago. So everything is history.
Can you tell us a bit about where that idea came from and if that was something you always thought you were going to do?
Well, as I just said, have my own business has something always there. I always wanted to do something bigger than just working like 9 to 5. So I think I'm very creative in that way. I want to do things my own way. So that really suits me. So that's there. But really having a law firm is not planned. But obviously my husband is a lawyer. So he has been a lawyer for now been 30 years. So he's a very, very experienced lawyer. And I studied law, I didn't qualify. So when the time we were thinking about, we wanted to set up a business. And so it's an easy choice for us. Okay, we should set up a law firm. And so that's basically where it come from. And then at that point, when we set up the business, is we have 2 young girls. I think our second daughter only 6 months old. So that has played a very important role in the way how we wanted to run the business. So we actually decided we're going to run a remote working, and we're going to offer to all the senior women, senior moms, lawyers in the city who actually wanted to have a balanced work and lifestyle, who actually can basically go to pick up their kids at 3 o'clock and then come back and working. So we offer that kind of flexible working hours. So that has been very, very important and influenced by that. So that's how we started, and then that's obviously quite divided role between my husband and myself because I'm not a lawyer. So my husband just naturally take on all the technical side, all the, writing the articles and content marketing. But for me, I'm just doing everything the rest to start with. So that's how we started.
And what challenges or obstacles did you face when you were setting up the business?
A lot. Definitely a lot. Really, the main thing for me is confidence. The two things. One, it's because I studied law, but I didn't qualify. And then I'm going to run a law firm. The logic goes. So it took me quite a long time. I think the first 3 years, I just don't really have the confidence to go out there and manage, which is the lawyers who are actually more senior, and then some of them are older than me. I just felt like, how am I going to do this? And that's really mental challenge. I think is really, the second one is the challenge of finding my strengths, how I can turn that into something actually valuable to the business. I think these two is together. I think that heavily influenced, I'm not confident, so I was spending a lot of time on what should I do. I start with my old basically role, which is marketing. That's something I'm really good at. I started to put my role title, my title as a marketing executive. But at the same time, I was doing everything the rest because my husband need to look after the lawyers, manage the workload and everything. And so that's basically for me. And also I don't really have, I didn't go to MBA and business school. So it's basically running a business from a very, very beginning and to read books and everything. So I'm basically figuring out myself. And at that time, just basically say, oh my gosh, did I do the right thing? Your ego coming up, say, and then did our team respect me? How should I do that? So I think that's for me is really the biggest challenge. I'm always a hard worker, thanks to my dad. So that physical kind of hardship, I don't think is challenging. You always can overcome that mental challenge, because I think for me is really block your view, because when you are in that mind, you can't really see yourself. There's something good about you. I think that was really, really, really tough. But I think I'm very, very lucky is because my husband is very, very supportive, very, very British gentleman. And so I think he's always very calm and I'm the fire. I'm like, let's do this. I'm like, jump off the plane. The team will say, oh, Xiaofang is going to jump off the plane without parachute. I'm the one, let's do this. But he's very calm. I think he gives me that environment to just basically mess about. And then give me that space to basically feel frustrated, feel that anxiety. I think that's really important. I think that's one of the things for us women is we can easily feel like, oh my gosh, this is too much. And then what's wrong with me when I feel frustrated, when I feel like anxiety. But that experience gave me is you're gonna get out it. And then that experience is you always will get out here to see the light in the end of the tunnel. And this experience is so instrumental if you actually experience it now, because you should feel very lucky. Once you get over that, you just feel like you can do everything. And then when anxiety or stress coming up, you just say, oh, here we go again. And then you're gonna get out of it. So I think now think about it, I really appreciate that. I appreciate that challenge. And then I think through that, I really now had a very solid role to the business. I think that's leading to all the infrastructures I have been implementing to the business in the past 5 years has been played a quite instrumental role to the success now. So yeah.
So nowadays, what does your day-to-day role look like?
So now, so we have a word in the firm. They call me the integrator. So my husband is a visionary. So he is very good at dreaming in the clouds, and then we need that as a business. And he helped us to define our vision, our 10-year vision, our core values as a firm, what we stand for, and our 3-year picture. So my role is basically how we can translate that with the end in mind, how that translates to this quarter, what everyone going to do, and then for this week, what we're going to do. So that's really my day-to-day role. So that's basically one of the structure, the meeting parts we did is, I run the weekly. So I run a lot of meetings when I look at my calendar. So I run the weekly leadership meetings, and we have set agendas, and then each department actually follow exactly the same meeting agenda to make sure we actually have a very productive meeting, because that's really the thing. People hate meeting is because there's no kind of structure, no frame to follow. And also we call scorecard, which is every single one in the firm actually have a number they actually responsible for on a weekly basis. They got to say, are you on track or off track? For example, for the lawyers, it's chargeable hours. For the operations manager, is the cash collected, and all this stuff. So it took us quite a lot of time to do. To define that, but that's basically my day-to-day kind of is make sure these meetings are run as supposed to be, and also another thing is kind of to make sure do you prioritize the right thing, and then do we get distracted by the shining stuff? We got this 3 year ago, we got our 1 year ago, and then you bring me this thing. Is this is this consistent with what we wanted to achieve? So I think it's a lot of them is to trying to keep the strategy level of goals in my mind when I actually joining these departmental meetings, and make sure we are actually prioritize the right thing. So I think that's play quite big part of it, and obviously hold everyone accountable. So I'm the one, if the number off track, I don't feel uncomfortable, I'll just say it's off track. We can't just not talk about it. So that's perhaps is my strength is, we need to talk about it. It's not embarrassing. It's not like intentionally to anyone, but it's off track. If we leave it for another week and 4 weeks, we can't achieve our quarterly goals. So that's basically, that's my role.
So you have transformed the firm in many ways, including implementing business management structure, defining the company's mission and focus, introducing a wellbeing program, and creating a carbon net zero program. What has been a highlight for you on this journey?
Well, just hear you saying that, I'm very proud of myself. Yeah. So the highlight definitely is winning the LexisNexis Legal Awards 2023, which is in March. Which is winning the category International Team of the Year. The reason I say that is that award has been part of our vision. It's our second time go for it. And I think it's really a true reflection of all the things you just mentioned about the US ethos, the infrastructure, running it, and the vision, and get a team who actually buy in that. Is all these different moving parts together and then drive us into that. It's a true reflection of what you just said out there. So it's incredibly gratifying and obviously happy to share that night with the team, and obviously because our second time submitting the awards, so we just say we're going to go in there, enjoy it. So we don't have very high expectations, but it was a really incredible night.
So what would your advice be to a woman who was thinking about maybe starting on a similar journey to yours, thinking about starting her own business? What would your advice be to her?
Well, this is very, very simple, very quick. If you got the idea to start something on your own, and if you think about a second and third time, I think by the third time, you got to start now. I think that's, if I can do it again, I will probably, I will tell myself. If you want something, if you get some idea, you just go implement it. Either, for me, it's always good to fail epically and you learn that doesn't work. And rather than you just cooking it too long in your brain, because that's just not really good for your confidence and then for your own sanity. So I think for me is obviously I'm still very inspired by Richard Branson. So screw it, let's do it. I think that's just basically is just do it.
So what do you think companies can be doing to continue to champion and support women within their own businesses?
So this is I've been asked quite a lot of times. I think obviously now companies definitely got more and more awareness. Awareness is always very, very important, and then obviously also very helpful if you have already a female leader sitting in the management role, because that kind of bring even more awareness, and hopefully that drive that kind of management team to do something about it. For example, like you guys, creating this kind of platform for women to talk about their journey, to inspire them. But what I really wanted to focus on to answer this question, not about what company can do, because I think is women as us, you got to ask for it. I really think so. I think that's obviously again relating to the confidence. For men, they can be quite confident, just ask for promotion, ask for things. Just talk about my own journey of becoming the CEO. So I'm not from the day one of Alice in Liu, I'm not telling myself, oh, my own business, I'm going to put CEO on there. As I told you, I don't have that confidence. And what happened is in 2018, the business reached to the stage. We need a operation system, and we need a more kind of a solid organizational chart to actually everyone clear about what your role is. And then that's one of the trouble with, running your business with your loved one. in my case, with my husband is, and we literally kind of, there's no defined role between us, because we just like, okay, this needs got to done, this got to done. It's quite stressful, and also it's sending the wrong message to the team. Who should I ask? What should I ask for Xiaofang? What should I ask for Paul? So that's the stage we're going to define the roles. And I remember that evening very clearly, I was thinking about, even with my own husband, I felt like embarrassed. I was thinking, should I ask? I don't, because I just felt like I have this intense desire thinking I want to be the CEO, and I think I can do it. And I think I'm actually quite suitable to do it. So I actually asked for it. Even to my own husband, I asked for it. I says, I think I should be the CEO. And then, obviously, he say yes, of course. He can't say no. So that's just my own experience is with however much the company right now, the overall the world and the big corporation, even a small business like us, we are really aware of this. This morning, I just been notified, one of our lawyers just been shortlisted in the Women in Business Law Awards 2023.
Oh, wow.
And so she's nominated the Transfer Pricing Lawyer of the Year. So I was very, very pleased. So obviously we ourselves trying our best to do this. But the thing is you ask for, she's actively wanting to becoming better. And then obviously very lucky we have this infrastructure with the marketing team to help her to submit the role. But she's really doing a really good job. And then she saw the opportunity, and then she was saying, why don't we try that? I think this is just telling us is, if you really just felt like that's something you want to go for, even you're not really sure, I think you should just go ask. And then that's the first step. And then if there is no infrastructure in the company, and I think that's really a good thing for you. Maybe you can become the change. Maybe you can actually start the seedling to actually create something. Because often I think my experience is obviously, I think now it's very different. My experience is, I came from China, which is, when I was growing up, that stage is, Chinese at that stage, they prefer boys and girls. I was very much like, I can do, that's, I think, where the ambition come from. I can do whatever the boys can do. But now it's really changed. But when I came here, I was really moved. Everyone was seeing me just like, yes, you can go to Edinburgh University if you want to apply for it, law school. And then, we in the team, my husband and all other lawyers, I think sometimes it's because they don't know. They don't know probably how to support us to become the leader. And I think we really, as women, should take that responsibility, should take that initiative and say, we want to become part of the leadership team, and we're just going to ask for it. So that really, I think we should do it. We should do it.